unleashing revenge on a wild Karen. Some background. In my neighborhood, there is a small complaint of Karens who have in the past told people that they were the neighborhood watch. This mainly consisted of annoying folks with dogs who'd play fetch in the small center circle park. The Karens would freak out if a big dog was running around loose that could potentially harm their little yap dogs. Then they totally flaunt their watch power once they'd cleared out everybody else's doggies, and that's when they'd declare the center circle a small dog park and let all their pampered pooches run around off-leash. Well, I didn't care so much until I was gifted a 65-pound Staffy boxer mix. He was so intelligent and I had high hopes of training him to be a fine canine gentleman. So we began with walkies. Staffy and I did absolutely nothing but walk past the unauthorized dog park. But Karen flipped out. She was outraged that I'd bring a dangerous banned breed to threaten her tiny terrors, because they were the ones barking their full heads off. So she tried to pull fake neighborhood watch rank. That I checked. She wasn't a watch. And my dog wasn't banned from anywhere. So long story short, Karen lied. She told the manager that Staffy had been loose and attacked her Pekingese pup. Sadly, Staffy had to be rehomed. Now, I didn't take that sitting down. Part of my revenge was to report the illegal dog park and get it shut down. But the best thing happened yesterday. Her dog attacked me! While heading out for errands on my e-bike, I slowly passed Karen, who was walking a trio of mini dust mops down the street. As per usual, she let the little monsters bark and snap at me, and one lunged at my pants leg, nearly throwing itself under my wheel. "Shut up!" I yelled at it, and opened the throttle to get away from those diminutive demons. Funny, the barking was still pretty loud, and there was a clattering sound too. Look into my rear, right? There was a deranged doggo chasing me, still after my pants leg, and dragging his retractable leash behind him. Woohoo! Karen was crying, "Stay! Stay!" But her spoiled pet had heard the call of the wild and was experiencing the unbridled thrill of the hunt. So I went faster and let him chase me for 2 blocks until he pooped out. I cannot wait to call animal control tomorrow. Oh, it breaks my heart that you had to rehome your dog. I don't know what would I do if something like this would happen to me. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, because I really want to get to 150 subscribers as soon as possible. Karen enjoys the view. Had a short encounter with a Karen at lunch today. It's a gorgeous day out, so I decided to walk the downtown where I work. Unfortunately, it's also windy out today. While I was idling the minutes watching a pair of angry sparrows have it out in a nearby tree, a particularly strong gust of wind hit unexpectedly and blew my skirt up. I pushed it down with my hands, but it was too late. Karen had seen me. She was exiting her car nearby with her teen daughter and scowled at me. "Your entire butt is hanging out!" I paused, still engrossed in the battle of the sparrows, and took a moment to register what she said. I glanced down at my blouse and knee-length black skirt with a shrug and replied, "Well, enjoy the view, I guess." Her daughter busted a laugh and Karen's scowl deepened as she started to scurry across the street, shouting back, "It's called having some class!" Not the first time a Karen has come after me for my plump rump, and it surely won't be the last. I guess the next time I come to the office, I should leave my butt at home. A quick story about Karen behind the wheel. I'll try to make it as quick as possible. Last Sunday, after a small dinner party at one of my relatives' house, it was about time to go home. That night, I took my mother home, as it was on the route to mine. At one point, we turned right into a one-way street before arriving, and that's when a wild Karen in a red Toyota appeared. As it turns out, I had to hit the brakes hard enough as she almost face-plants her car into mine, so to speak. Yet, she honks frantically, flips me off and yells something at me, which I couldn't distinguish because I had my windows shut. My mother and I were like, "What the heck?" And that woman drove off. That Karen was brave, or fool, enough to go the wrong way, almost colliding with us and even throwing insults. We eventually arrived at my mother's house, shaking our hands at the scenario we just had. Today, I went to my mother's place again, as we were to pick one of my nephews to the hospital because of a harsh fever. And on the exact same corner, I saw the same Karen, but this time yelling at the repo dude as her car was towed. I recognized the same red Toyota car that almost rammed into us, because its left rearview mirror was one of the countless cases of if you cannot fix that with duct tape, you ain't using enough duct tape. After picking up my mother, she got me the gossip that the Karen woman recently moved around that area and was rather known for being rude and violent to pretty much every neighbor under the sun. Her car was towed because someone needed to leave to work. Her car was blocking the driveway. And she didn't give a damn about moving it out of the way. I just concluded and told my mother, treat everyone the way you would like to be treated. Or in other words, don't be a Karen, or karma will bite you in your butt. Karen at theater gets instant karma. My husband and I went to the Nikki Glaser show last night. We took our seats just before the first act started, and we were sat next to a couple that looked to be in their 60s or so. My husband quickly pulls out his phone, dims the screen all the way down to text his brother, who was also at the show. We were supposed to be seated together. It was really strange that we arrived to find out we were apart. This lasted about 10 seconds and was at the very beginning of this woman's set. Karen next to me leans over a bit to get my attention, looks me squarely in the face, and at full volume says confrontationally, "Can you put your phone down? It's distracting and I paid good money for these tickets." I responded with, "I'm not holding a phone." She then leans over me to address my husband in the same way. Meanwhile, all around us, people are taking their seats, ushers are pointing their lights at aisles, other people are talking and on their phone and settling in. So after she addresses us like this, my husband and I quietly say, "Wow, that was weird." And then she doubles down and goes all in. "Maybe you need to remove yourself and find different seats." To which I calmly reply, "Nope, we're good. We are ready to have a great night. Are you good?" Well, this incenses Karen. She tells me that she will have us thrown out and that she's going to speak to an usher. Her husband then motions with his hands for her to bring it down a notch. Karen is not backing down. She hails an usher over, tells her size of the event, and then the usher looks at us and says, "You think you guys can work it out?" To which I give a thumbs up and "We're good." Karen goes silent. Defeat is a bitter pill to swallow. Not 5 minutes later, a couple sits down in the row behind us and begins to loudly talk throughout the entire show. They are cackling, talking about their dinner, saying things back to the comedians, the works. Karen wanted to go all in on these folks. She turned around a couple times to give them an evil eye. But she knew she could not escalate things with an usher. My petty bot just enjoyed her being genuinely distracted by these folks. After going so hard on us initially, it seems she should have bitten her tongue for the actual rudeness she encountered later. Honestly, it really surprises me that Karen didn't just stand up and walk over to those guys and be like, "You shut up! I paid money for the tickets!" Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. You can also watch that awesome video or this awesome playlist. See you next time!